Welcome, everyone, back to our live play of Delta Green in a campaign called The Cost of Silence, currently on Operation Convergence. We've had a couple of weeks off due to scheduling issues, but hopefully if you're listening in the future, that won't matter to you at all, other than the fact that we will make sure to have a good recap of where we are and what we're getting up to. Charlie unfortunately couldn't be with us today. It is the busy season in his other job, so we wish him luck, and Max will be sticking with the van and providing tech support from time to time, but not really driving things until Charlie can get back. But we still have Travis here as Mr. JASMINE, and Mike as Eli Yoder, and Kayla as Dr. Blake Harrington. So, I'm excited to get into this investigation properly. Where we left off last time, I've got the briefing document up on Roll20, so any of you can look it over. Hopefully, if you're watching online, you can see this as well. But this is a brief overview of the info that the agents have going into this operation. This all started off when a young man, an 18-year-old high school dropout by the name of BILLY RAY SPIVEY, vanished from his parents' home in Groversville, Tennessee. He showed up just shy of 24 hours later. He was taken to the doctor because he was complaining of pain for reasons nobody understood. And several days ago, the pain worsened. Spivey went into a fit. His father tried to calm him down, and the young man, not quite understanding what he was doing, punched a hole in his father's chest, killing him instantly. Billy Ray then panicked and fled. He began robbing gas stations and convenience stores for food, gas, and oddly enough, over-the-counter painkillers, aspirin, Tylenol. And he began his interstate spree. He doesn't seem to know where he was going. He was just running. He fled Tennessee, went through Alabama and Georgia, robbing gas stations and killing another gas station attendant. Again, apparently not understanding his own supernatural strength before he was found and stopped by an FBI agent and several local police officers. He took 4 gunshot wounds before losing consciousness. And when he was brought in, it was found that all of the muscles in his arms and legs had been entirely replaced with something strange. And this is where Delta Green came in. This came across the desk of Agent Derringer, also known as Agent Jake, the leader of this of J Cell of Delta Green. And given that it fell into Agent Derringer's lap, he brought his own team in to investigate. So, having been brought in to look over Billy Ray Spivey and to they were able to speak with him as well, although he was heavily sedated and not entirely in control of his own faculties. He expressed remorse for what he had done, confusion. He still had no memory of disappearing for 24 hours or anything that had happened to him to cause his pain and sudden incredible strength, leaving the agents with little idea of exactly what could be going on in the town of Groversville, Tennessee. However, with FBI covers in place, they drove from Chattanooga to Groversville, and that is about where we left off last time, just before we let all of you off the leash. So, once again, you come into Groversville, and I'm going to start flipping through some boards on Roll20 just to give you this kind of overview evidence board. Showing some of the maps of the area. It's a small town at the junction of a couple of short mountain ranges. There is a reservoir to the north. Most of town is clustered around a Y junction between Route 135 and another local major road. And it's a very quaint little town, a county seat of a rural county. And as you came into town, you saw, a few of the prominent local businesses, and you immediately started to see. Sorry, one second, we're having a little audio problem here. Something is open. Okay. Sorry about that. Nope, it's still there.
Looks like Kayla's is activating every time.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. All right. So anyway, you started to see a little bit of the character of this town. Just if through nothing else, through noticing that there's basically one motel in town called Merle's Shut-Eye, and it's right down the road from Merle's Auto and Body, and not too far from a small convenience store called what was it? Merle's Gas and Go or something like that. Anyway, short version is very small town. You get a sense that many of the businesses are owned by the same people, major figures in the local town hall. And yeah, so as you come into town, it is nighttime as you get in. Probably somewhere around 10:30, 11 p.m. And all of you have been traveling. You've been flying across country to meet with Agent Derringer and gearing up at the FBI field office. So as you come into town, you do only see the one motel, Merle's Shut-Eye. Take it you pull in there.
Well,
Yep,
if we
that's
got
the move.
nowhere else to stay, yeah.
All right. You pull into the parking lot. It's a clean-looking and well-kept small motel. There is a flickery neon sign over the night key drop box, but there is a light on inside the main office. You can see what looks like a maybe 19 or 20-year-old girl sitting behind the desk reading a novel. Who among you would be the one to make your reservations and get yourselves rooms? And what kind of rooms are you getting? Are you all clustering together?
Oh no, I think we would, get some separate rooms there. It doesn't, and
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
we could probably make our own unless someone says, hey, I could do it for all three of you. But yeah, either one. Eli wouldn't mind doing it.
Okay. So Eli heads in. The girl behind the counter kind of looks you over as you come in, and she just says, "Hey, welcome to Merle's Shut-Eye. Need a room?"
Well, yes, we'll actually be needing three if you don't mind. Actually, I guess it would be four. 4 rooms, if you've got them.
Oh, yeah. We got the space. There's a lot of you. You with the UFO people?
You might say that, yeah.
Okay. Well, I've got 4 rooms in a row here if you want. They're all on the 2nd floor if you don't mind.
No, that'd be just fine. I greatly appreciate that.
All right. And she, starts filling out info on a paper ledger book and takes your charge card, makes an imprint of it. Everything, it's not that unusual for things to not be very computerized, but even for 1996, you sense there's a lack of high tech, cutting edge equipment going on.
Yeah, this seems like one of those old-fashioned motels that just hadn't quite moved on yet.
Exactly. And you get the sense that the girl is kind of shooting you looks like, oh my gosh, there's a guy here. He's kind of cute. He's a little older than me, but she seems shy and not trying to start anything. You just get a sense that she's like watching you out of the corner of her eye with a little bit of a smirk.
Oh, I'll see. Well, that's nice. I'll keep that in mind in case we need anything.
But yeah, once she has filled everything out, she hands 4 keys up to you, and she says, "Now, I don't know how long you're going to be here, but if you are wanting to have some kind of an extended stay, you can come in tomorrow when, somebody who knows the systems better than me is working here, and you can prepay for as many weeks as you like. We keep it pretty informal around here.
Well, that's very nice. What's your name now?
Jennifer.
Jennifer, very nice to meet you. Thank you for your help.
She gives you a smile and pushes the keys across the counter to you. And when you head outside, it's dark. There is a bit of a warm drizzle falling. Not quite feeling the chill of fall to come quite yet.
Mm-hmm.
But you hand out your keys. You find the 4 rooms side by side up on the second story. Max gets the van parked and spends a little time in the back just moving any equipment that would be really bad if it were stolen into the rooms. But from this point on, the leash is off. I'm just gonna let you all tell me what your characters would get up to and what you would want to investigate first. Or if you're just going to sleep for the night. First thing.
What time is it currently?
Once you're all moved in, it's probably like 11:15 p.m.
Yeah, so it's at night.
Definitely sleeping for Jennifer.
I think I'm gonna make a convenience store run to get some things for the room that are always necessary. Some coffee, some things to, some snack bars, things to eat, some water, and maybe now that I'm no longer subscribed to the community, maybe a little case of beer or something.
Yeah. Yeah, so you once the equipment's unloaded, you take the van over, winding through dead streets. At one point, you do see a sheriff's squad car just kind of sitting along the side of the road, along the highway, watching for traffic violations, but that's about the only activity that you see before you find your way down to Merle's Country Bunker. It is just a little convenience store, bait shop, liquor store, you name it. It does it all.
All right.
You note that there are a couple of, like, maybe 15, 16-year-old boys sitting in one of the benches out front of the store. They've got like a 10 or so year old boombox playing Tupac. But they're sitting there just kind of hanging out, one of them wearing a Metallica shirt. This is apparently what passes for the late night scene in Groversville.
Oh, I see.
That's amazing.
As I'm heading into the place past the boys, but like, you fellas local, or you here for the part of what they say, the sci-fi folks that are coming in here?
And they kind of look at each other and chuckle, and they say, "Oh, no, we're not with the UFO people. No, we live here." The other one kind of pipes in and says, "Unfortunately."
What's your take on the the whole abduction scenario. It's I'm always curious when places hold conventions, like hotels. What does the staff really think about that? What is their take other than money flowing into the town or hotel or whatever? What do you boys think?
And the last one to speak says, snap. I don't know if there's aliens or anything. I've never seen anything like that around here. I mean, sure, lights in the sky. But there's planes all over, right? So what do we care? And the other one kind of pops in and says, I mean, it's like they just come and they sniff around and they like pay money to Merle, and that's about it. They always walk out of here with nothing new. So obviously there's nothing going on. I mean, like, whatever.
So it's not true that you had some people go missing around here then?
Go missing? No, not that I know of, no.
Alright. Never seen anything strange or anything crazy?
The other one says, well, I mean, there's Billy, right? And the other one says, well, yeah, I mean, they said that Billy, he's a friend of ours, actually. He apparently was on drugs or something, and he robbed the gas and go and started driving on down south. But I mean, that's if Billy went crazy, that's nothing to do with UFOs. The other one pipes in again and says, yeah, he's 18, he's got a girlfriend and everything. Who knows what's going on with Billy?
Now, for our GM, like above table,
Mm-hmm.
Billy's not the one that we already talked to, right? Is this somebody new, or is this because it's been
Billy Ray Spivey?
Billy Ray Spivey. Okay,
one
so
and the same. Yeah.
All right. So this thing with Billy, that's brand new. Nothing like that's ever happened here before.
No. I mean, they said, like, he might have been in contact with some drug dealers or something, and they were saying, like there would be somebody growing weed in the hills or whatever, but I don't know. Doesn't seem very likely. Who would buy it around here?
Well, you know. You got bored teenagers, you got bored 20-year-olds, you got bored 60-year-olds that just don't give a shit anymore. And, just looking for a new experience. You know? Who knows? But, I thank you for your time and your information. You've been very helpful.
Get a treat. Sure.
Unless they have anything else, I'm gonna head into Merle's.
Yeah.
Catch the vibe.
Yeah, and it's like shoulder high displays and a bored looking kid behind the counter who just watches you stroll in and just kind of like gives you a look, gives you the upward head nod, like, hey, what's up? But you are unbothered by anyone else. There's not even any other cars in the parking lot as you shop around for whatever you can find. Coffee, sure. Big cans of Folgers. Beer is probably like Bud Light. You know, major American brands, and you're able to get a few essentials, comforts.
All right. The store's not selling a whole bunch of I don't think of the word. You know when you go to like Roswell and it's just like floor to ceiling bullshit, yeah, stuff that, you know, you would buy if you were a tourist looking for stuff?
Yeah, no, none of that stuff. You do see, on their news rack, there are there are copies of some tabloid style publications that, UFO baby found in Hong Kong, stuff like that. But that's the closest thing that you can find to any. That they don't seem to be making money off of whatever this UFO interest there is.
Huh. All right. Oh, I'm just thinking from a tourism standpoint, they sure aren't capitalizing. So I'll get my creature comforts and go up to pay. What's this? Is this another like teenage kid that's running the counter here?
Yeah, this one's maybe like maybe mid-20s. Black guy, looks like he woke up maybe 5 minutes ago and didn't do much to improve his appearance, and he honestly, like, he doesn't really look you in the eye. He's just like, "You found everything okay? Okay, good." He does card you. This being the only store in town with a liquor license, they've got all of the signage. If you're not born before this date, then you're not 21, etc. But
remind me, do we have FBI credentials?
You do, yeah.
I think that's the ID that I'm going to show him.
Okay.
Just the
yeah,
because I don't want to use my real name if I don't have to.
Sure.
So.
Yeah. So you show him the FBI ID.
Yep.
With the name that you came up with.
Yeah.
And he kind of like starts looking it over, looks confused for a second, finally dawns on him what kind of ID he's looking at, and he looks back up at you a little bit surprised, and he says, "FBI? What are you doing in town?"
Oh. Well, just sightseeing.
He kind of like gives you a slow nod, like, "Sure, man." but he a nod and a shrug, and he doesn't even go any further. Once he's seen that you've got FBI ID, he is definitely selling you liquor.
Yeah. As I'm about to turn to go, and that's when I snap my finger and just toss something. You heard of a boy named Billy Ray Spivey?
Sure. He robbed pretty much the only other convenience store in town. That's why I've got to take the night shift. Merle said that we got to have some place open middle of the night around here.
Let's just what'd you think of Billy? You know him?
He shrugs. He says, "I mean, he's a few years behind me in the high school, but he seemed to be an okay kid.
But you
I don't
didn't
know,
didn't
not
know
that
him
smart. He seemed to be kind of like, not the kind of person who was gonna do much or ever leave town or anything like that. But I don't know, robbing and they said drugs. Doesn't. I wouldn't be that surprised, but I'd be kind of surprised."
Certainly a take. Hey, I've been noticing some folks coming in and out of town UFO watchers? What's that all about?
He just kind of like rolls his eyes. He's like, man, they talk about lights in the sky. I've never seen anything like that. I mean, who cares? Okay, so there have been some mentions of maybe UFOs in the area, but where haven't there? And I mean that one UFO watcher guy, he's been here like 2 weeks and he hasn't found anything, as far as I know. So,
You know the name of this UFO watcher?
No, I don't know the name. I know he came in maybe like 2 weeks ago. Went around all the businesses asking like, hey, has anyone seen anything weird? You know, basically what you're asking. But obviously he wasn't FBI.
Right, yeah.
And he kind of leans in close and he says, are you working the X-Files?
That's just a show. That's just a show. We're here
Are you
about,
sure that ain't... I mean, I know it's just a show, but like, they make shows about real things too.
Well, I'm pretty sure that if the X-Files actually exists, they wouldn't make a show about it. But man, I gotta tell you, if there was an X-Files, that would be a really awesome department to work in. You know, basement office, no really hot partner. You know what I mean? Be great.
Shit, yeah. Gillian Anderson, man. My
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. But no, I can't. Unfortunately, not with the X-Files. Just boring old FBI. Just in town to ask a couple people some questions about something that happened a couple states away.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, so, okay. Well, I'll tell you this. That they said that Billy Ray got in drugs. I never could buy drugs in this town if I wanted to. So, I don't know what they're talking about, but anyway.
Could buy any weed or anything like that around here?
I mean, if you really looked, sure, but it's going to be down from BC and stuff like that.
All right. Oh well, thanks for your time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you come back. I'm Jerome. I work here nights, I guess, until they get the gas and go back up and running and cleaned up.
Oh, well, nice talking with you, Jerome. I'm just staying up at the, forget the name of the place. That we just
Merle's
stayed
Shut-Eye, only place in town.
at the Shut-Eye. You think of anything, just come up and ask, just ask for Jeb, and or you can leave me a note there at the front desk. All right.
Nice to meet you, Agent Jeb. And he kind of like shakes your hand. And seems like this is one of the most exciting things that's happened in his entire life.
Oh, poor guy.
Did we have to make up a last name too?
I'm gonna say yes, but we already have like 2 names for each of your characters, so I'm gonna say it doesn't matter too much.
Okay, that's fair. It's just like, oh man, what Agent Jeb just sounds like. I am the most Arkansas FBI agent you'd ever met. Although, even though I'm rocking an East Texan for someone who comes from Pennsylvania. But I don't know, whatever. You get the point. Alright, so I'm gonna head back at that point. I don't know if I've gotten anything useful, but got beer. That's useful.
Yeah. Beer's always useful.
Mm-hmm.
So you head back, get settled into your room. I don't know if everyone else is asleep yet, but yeah, you link back up at Merle's Shut-Eye, and unless anyone else is getting up to anything in the middle of the night on the first day that you get there, then you get a perfectly nice rest. The rooms are clean. The styling is a little bit dated. You know, maybe feels kind of late 80s. But otherwise, it's a comfortable motel.
All right. Sounds. I'm gonna go ahead and click that long rest button that we all.
Dude, I can still go to an older hotel motel that looks like it was decorated in the 80s and they never did it again.
Exactly.
So I wonder if it's 50s, 60s style in there. We're like in the groovy painted rooms.
There's a motel near here that I've never seen any cars at. Still open. Pretty sure the decor is at least 45 years old. And I'm thinking, how's that place staying open other than it's a drug front or something?
Answered your own question.
Yeah, I was just like, man. Anyway.
All right. So, you get your rest for the night. And in the morning, I believe you brought a van with all of your equipment, and I think one of you brought a rental car, so you can split up as you start looking around town. But yeah, what are some of the first things that you're gonna want to look into?
Oh, can we have the map brought up again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Breakfast, probably. There's got to be a diner, right?
I mean, gotta be the only diner in town.
Yeah.
I wonder, where all the where the rumor mill goes through, and is it the
Oh, there it
diner?
is. The R&R diner.
But also, a really good breakfast is a really important start to the day. So, let's see. Where are we?
We go down the street and make a slight right, and there's the diner right there.
Yeah, I'm thinking of getting up early and walking to the diner and maybe chatting up the server.
Okay. Yeah, and it's a nice walk along the tree-lined little town street as people are waking up. You can literally hear roosters from the farms around town. A few people already out and working. You can see a road crew a little ways down the way working on a pothole and whatnot. But yeah, you head down to the R&R diner. You see, as you come in, there are a pair of sheriff's squad cars in the parking at the diner. And when you head inside, you can see one of the tables is full of brown uniforms. And one of the guys stands up as he sees you come in, and he says, "Oh, you'll be part of the team that just came in last night, right?"
Oh, hi. I didn't know that I was going to be getting a welcoming party.
And he says, "Well, that wasn't really the intention here, but why not?" And he walks over. He is a heavy-set man, thinning reddish hair, very much a typical small-town cop demeanor. He comes over to shake your hand and says, "Sheriff Dan Oakley, nice to meet you."
It is a pleasure to meet you, Sheriff Dan Oakley. My name is Jennifer. I did come in here with a few of my colleagues. Are you in the middle of breakfast? We could have breakfast together.
Yeah, I'd really like that. If you don't mind, I'll cover the bill and everything.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. You didn't have to do that, but I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, feds don't pay their people for shit, so... And he kind of waves at the waitress. He says, Cindy, I'll be covering her bill. I'm just gonna move my stuff over here. Brings just a black coffee over and sits at a table with you, and he says, so, I didn't want to go, shouting FBI all over the room or anything like that. But I
really appreciate that, Sheriff Oakley.
Yeah, well, I just, it's a small town, and I really do like to keep abreast of everything that's going on.
Of course.
It's a big county, but these days it seems like everything that's happening is happening right here. Just, UFO nuts in and out all the time, and, that poor Spivey kid going crazy like that. I've never seen anything like that.
Oh, yeah. Can you tell me more about that? That is such a fascinating story.
Yeah, well, I got the call that you were coming down to look into it. And, well, I don't really get it. Billy Ray, he's not the smartest. He was never, headed off to Ivy League or anything like that. Figured he'd maybe go work at the gas and go, changing oil, that kind of stuff. Just a good old boy. And probably stick around town. And then, out of nowhere, he just, he hauls off. He kills his father. I had to deal with the body myself, and I've never seen anything like it. Do you really think it's, really think there could be like a drug empire or whatever running out of this town?
I don't know, Sheriff. You know your people better than I ever could. What are people like around here?
Well, here in Groversville, we pride ourselves on being a small town, exactly like what everyone would expect. The worst thing I've ever had to deal with outside of Billy Ray Spivey are drunk driving and traffic tickets and people hunting out of season, that kind of thing. And then it seems like all of a sudden, a few years back, all these UFO nuts get interested in us, and well, that's one thing or another. For the most part, they come in, they spend a bunch of money, and that's fine with everyone around here. But Billy Ray going off like that, I just never heard anything like it.
Was he part of the UFO interest around here? What are most of the UFO people like?
No,
You'd be surprised, but I don't actually run into very many of those.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't know what, I wouldn't know what the FBI actually deals with, but nobody local puts anything behind all this UFO hogwash. It's somebody comes out here, a few years back, maybe they were high, maybe they were drunk and standing out and, saw a cloud go in front of Jupiter or something like that. And they decided it's a UFO, and ever since, there's just, every couple of months we get somebody new coming into town. There's one here right now, just going out in the middle of the night, filming the sky, going and hanging out by the reservoir at night. It's, nothing illegal, but it's unusual, and it's kind of wish it wasn't happening. Merle don't mind. He's made some money off him, but I mean, how many people say that they want to spend their honeymoon going to Groversville, Tennessee?
This is a lovely town you have here.
Well,
Sure.
exactly. And we like to keep it that way by keeping it small and keeping it, keeping that simple country character. Anyway, the short version is, I don't know what's going on, but I have every intention of being as helpful to the FBI as I possibly can. If there is somebody up in these hills who is growing weed or something like that, you just let me know if you need any backup. And he takes a notepad out and scribbles a couple of numbers. He says, "There's my direct line at the station, and this is my cell. You give me a call anytime you need any kind of help, and I will get things moving."
Sheriff, I'm so glad I ran into you this morning. Thank you for giving me a little bit more context about your town. I will absolutely be in contact with you.
Hey, well, it's actually just nice to meet an FBI agent who isn't in here trying to walk hard and be tough and all that,
Absolutely. Like I said, you know your town better than I do, so I expect to need your help a lot here.
I foresee this being a very fruitful professional partnership, and thank you for coming to town, and well, I'm glad I caught you.
I'm gonna shake his hand.
Yeah, you shake his hand, and he gives it that Southern conventional man clamp down squeeze.
Okay.
But other than that, he seems polite enough as he picks his coffee back up. He says, "Doris, I'm gonna take this to go," and leaves you to get your breakfast, which is very typical country fare. It's diner food, but they've got they've got a selection of various Southern fares, knowing that any tourists who do happen to show up might decide they want to try their shrimp and grits at this roadside diner.
That's awesome. Okay. I'll have breakfast and maybe I might chat up the I guess what did he say her name was?
Doris.
Doris. I might chat Doris up a little. Not gonna ask her any questions, just kind of become more familiar, so that later if I do ask questions, she'll be less hesitant.
Sure, absolutely. And you get a sense that the servers are encouraged to be as friendly as possible, and seem to take it pretty seriously. You get to know each other very briefly, just so that she'll recognize you, you'll recognize her, and you can come back to ask more questions later if you need to. Awesome.
Perfect.
Okay, so what about the rest of you? What's Kurt getting up to in the morning?
Kurt would have gone. So I'm going down to the check-in, and You know, when Jennifer behind the desk mentioned UFO people, nobody has to follow up. And Kurt's not aware of the conversation that happened at the Quickie Mart, so he would just ask the person behind the desk. You know, he'd been to know, so what's up with UFO people? You got any of them staying here? And he would want to know if any of them had stayed for 2 weeks or more. He wants to know if any of the UFO people were here. If there were any UFO people here when Billy had his little adventure, who are still here. Because he definitely wants to find out who that person is and talk to them first.
Yeah, definitely.
And if they're staying at the motel or not, which they probably are, but maybe not.
Yeah. And you know, the girl is a little hesitant to, you know, give out information, but, you know, like personal information, what his name is or where he's staying. But she says, you know, when you flash your badge, she says, yeah, he's been here about 2 weeks now. He's paid up for another 3 days. I haven't seen him come or go much, though. He said he rented a couple of rooms, he said, for himself and for storage for some of his equipment.
Okay. I'd like to make this gentleman's acquaintance. Could you tell me, give me what's the name and what rooms did he rent?
She says, sure, Scott Adams, and he rented rooms 202 and 218. In fact, 202 is right next to you guys.
And did I happen, I probably didn't, did I happen to notice any activity in 202 since we've been in town?
No. You did see, you know, there is a van parked in the parking lot. It hasn't moved since you've been here. And you haven't seen any real activity in any of the other rooms, aside from maybe a trucker stopping in the middle of the night for like a 5-hour stay and then driving on.
Is the van parked in front of or near 202?
Yeah. And she says, yeah, so he's in 202. I mean, if you run into him, that's fine. I think I'd have to, like, call my boss if you needed to get in there. I don't know, is this official or part of an investigation or something? Should I don't actually know how this works.
It's okay. If you're doing the right thing, you're not supposed to know how it works, so you're fine. No, this is the questions are official. If we need to get in there, we'll provide the credentials to do so. Right now, we're in the information gathering phase. So you've been very helpful and you did what you're supposed to do. I really appreciate that. What was this jump? So Scott Adams, 202, 218. I'm sorry, I've got a weird question for you. Do you happen to have any scotch tape behind that desk?
Oh, sure. And she pulls out one of those, like, shot-weighted tape dispensers.
I'm just going to pull off 3 pieces, thanks. And, you know, it may not prove it, but he'll get a sense if somebody's in it. He's going to go out to that vehicle in front of 202 and put a piece of tape across the back doors, across the passenger door, and across the driver door, down at the bottom where they can't be seen. And he's going to check later, just to see if somebody opens it while he's away.
Absolutely.
And just for funs and grins, he will, whose room is it between the 3 of us? Somebody is directly next to him. Who is that? Said the
For
room is next to
convenience sake,
ours.
I'll say it's your room.
Okay.
So you're basically in 203.
I will knock on 202. It'll be a friendly knock, but I'm knocking on 202.
Sure. Yeah, you knock a few times. There's no response from inside, no sound of someone getting up. No movement of the curtains or anything like that. You wait a couple of minutes and it seems like nobody's home.
Okay. We'll go to my room. I'm gonna slide. I'm gonna bring him to me. I'm gonna go to my room, write a quick note. I'm gonna slide under his door, and the note said, "Hey neighbor, package arrived for you. They needed somebody to sign. They knocked for a while, didn't have you there. Nobody at the front desk, so I went ahead and signed it for you. Not sure what it is, but I have it. Please contact me as soon as possible."
Okay.
Which is a complete and total bullshit story, but I wanna try to bring this guy toward me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if he gets this package he's not expecting, and if he's a UFO nut, that probably, raises an eyebrow on his part.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna do when he comes to find the package?
You'll see. Maybe I'll just shoot him.
Well, I'm sure that would definitely get his attention.
Yeah. And then I'm going to the diner, and Kurt's going to get an omelet. It's going to be loaded, and it's going to have an irresponsible amount of Tabasco sauce on it. And he's going to get a cup of coffee the size of his head. And he needs his morning time. He does not. He will scan, Is there any law enforcement? I'm not coordinating necessarily with the other team members, but did I catch any of Agent Hot Jen's conversation, or did I get in there after or before or what?
I'm gonna say
She's
you get
still
in
there?
there after. Maybe she woke up a little early. She's finishing up her breakfast when you get in, and
She's
one of
definitely an early riser.
yeah, one of the sheriff's deputies is still there. So, but no car actually out front. That deputy is just kind of sitting and actually just watching the road, and has their walkie-talkie out on the table and a cup of coffee, like they're settling in for a wait.
Now, to our knowledge, I mean, I don't know this yet necessarily, but to our knowledge, does the local Popo expect us?
You know that Agent Derringer has been in touch with them and would have called them to warn them that an FBI team was on their way. So yeah, you expect that they are expecting you. But you are, of course, here under a cover story that
Right.
this might be part of some kind of an interstate drug organization rather than just a one-off freakout.
Oh, so the cover story. I mean, so the local police force is under the impression that we're there to investigate some sort of potential emerging drug ring or something.
Mm-hmm.
Drug empire. The only empire I see in this town is Merle's. So, but okay. Sure. He'll he'll eat most of his omelet, drink his coffee, and then just kind of watch the deputy and curious to see if the deputy notices him, is sizing him up, or how he's being observed by the deputy.
Yeah. You do catch a couple of glances from the deputy. You get a sense that, like, it's a woman in her 30s. She kind of looks over at you, gives you a nod, like, "Oh, hey, it's you. I knew you were here." But not too much mind after that. And she doesn't even, like, use the walkie-talkie to report in that you're there or anything like that you can see. And after maybe half an hour, as you are finishing up your breakfast, you do see her, get up, get a coffee to go, and just start walking the main street of the town.
I'll follow her out, and then try to. Well, I'll follow her out and cross paths with her just so I can have a word.
Okay.
Hi. Appreciate you guys hosting us, although it wasn't probably your idea. Just want you to know, we're here to help you guys out. We're here to provide, resources, to bring things to bear. A lot of sometimes we've come into towns and get off to a bad start because this idea, the feds are in town, the feds are going to take over, the feds don't care about us. We're here because we do care about you, and we want to help you. So, anything you can tell me about what has happened, is happening, let me know. Any resources I have, we're gonna bring them to bear. Any resources you need, you and your coworkers and your colleagues and the sheriff, don't be shy about asking for those. I just want to reassure you, I'm viewing this as a partnership, and I got nothing for respect for you guys. And I know that you guys care a lot about the people in this town, and we want to help you help them.
Yeah, and she gives you a smile and shakes your hand, and she says, "Oh, well, thank you. The sheriff spoke to your colleague there, and they apparently said about the same thing. We're just happy that you're, if FBI has to come into town, it's really nice that you're so open to working with us."
Yeah, it's a quick question. The Spivey boy, when he disappeared, did you guys determine where he was driving, where he was when he disappeared?
Well,
and what time of day or evening was it that he disappeared?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Could you show me?
Well, sure. I could take you down to the station and look up the records. It was the sheriff that spoke to his mother. I don't remember the full briefing, honestly.
But was he okay. Yeah, no, I'd like to look at those files if I could.
Sure.
Real quick, was he driving? Was he on foot? Was he driving when he disappeared?
We do know he was driving.
Okay.
We know that he, if I remember correctly, he was driving back to his home from somewhere, and
maybe the girlfriend's house.
That's it. Yeah, he was going from his girlfriend's house, Jane Allen. That it's all coming back now. Yeah. He was driving back from his girlfriend's house, Jane Allen, and he didn't show up for near 24 hours. And when he did, he was complaining of all this pain, and he didn't say that he knew where he had been.
I got you now. The Spivey boy disappeared. Did his car disappear too, or did you find his car with no driver?
No, we didn't find his car. I mean, he wasn't even reported missing. We didn't know that any of this had happened until, the unfortunate thing that happened with his father. And then we started talking with the FBI and investigating, and that's when it all came out. But apparently he and his car were just completely gone for like 23 hours, 23 and a half hours, something like that.
Gotcha. And did you, this is out of the blue question, but there's been, you guys get a certain amount of UFO tourism in town.
Yeah.
Sure, sure. Merle appreciates that. The Merle Empire appreciates that. But the gentleman that rolled into town, Mr. Scott Adams, have you seen him, or would you be able to describe him to me?
Sure. I did speak with him about a week ago now. This was before, just after the Spivey killing happened. He's I don't know. He's a decent looking fellow. He's maybe 5'9", kind of on the short side. Brown hair. Honestly, kind of nerdy.
Gotcha.
Got a beard. I don't know. He said that he was an investigator, and that always in this town that means UFO nut. And he's still down at the Shut Eye, I guess. We haven't seen him for a bit.
Yeah, I haven't seen him either. I would like to talk to him. Tell you what, if you could do me a favor, and if you happen to see him out and about, if you could let me know. I'm in room 203 at the Merle's Luxury Resort, so that would be great.
Sure. I'll let you know if I see him, and and we'll get in touch with you, or if we can't find you, obviously we know the number for the main office.
Gotcha. All right. Do appreciate that. One last quick question. So, you know what? Let me just ask you this question. I'd like to go down. I'm not sure you got things you got to do. I'd like to go down to the station, take a look at that file. When I roll up there, who should I speak with when I get there?
Well, actually, I'm supposed to be working the front desk today. To be honest, I'd been taking my time. We don't get many walk-ins. We don't have anybody in the cells right now. So I've just got the place shut. And I was going to head on over right now. If you want to walk with me, that would be fine.
Yeah, that sounds good. It seems like a nice day. Quick question. When folks here get banged up, what's the nearest, is there a hospital or kind of a...
Oh, sure.
Is this a farming town? Do farmers go to hospitals willingly?
There may not be a hospital for a while, but when folks here get banged up, where's the nearest facility for them to get some aid, get some help before they can, transfer to maybe a bigger hospital?
Yeah, sure. We of course have a drugstore and stuff like that. We got really just a small clinic in town here. If you need a bigger hospital or something like that, you might have to drive down to Nashville, but that doesn't come up too much. We do have farmers around here, but it's mostly dairy and stuff like that. So we got honestly, one of the big things that the sheriff's office does around here is just transporting people who do injure themselves to where they need to be. It's usually faster than getting an ambulance in here.
No, makes sense. Yeah, no, you gotta move fast, you know. Farmers are pretty sensible with people in my experience, and when they do have a boo-boo, it tends to be a pretty serious one. So.
Exactly. If a farmer comes in and says that they're hurt, it's real bad.
All right. Well, it's been yeah. Let's just take a look at that file, and you know, at that point, we can cut to somebody else or keep going, whichever makes sense.
Sure. Yeah, so she walks you along the main road toward the sheriff's office, just kind of pointing out the main, the exact landmarks that you're seeing on the map there. So going over their files will likely take you a couple of hours. So let's switch back to Eli. What does his morning look like? What's he getting up to?
He is probably a pretty early riser too, being military and, you know, ex-farmer community member. So that would be hard to kick after a lifetime of doing it.
Oh yeah.
So he'd be up, and I think he'd probably make him. I'm trying to think. I don't know if he would go down to the diner or not. So maybe he would. Although for convenience's sake, it'll be after Jennifer is already gone.
Mm-hmm.
And because first I think. Where would I go?
Does Eli get up in the morning and write in his journal and meditate and work out all before he eats breakfast?
No, that's your
Like an
that's your
Instagram girl?
character that does that.
That actually does sound like a thing. That does
Morning
sound like
yoga as opposed to PT.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he would get up and go for a long kind of walk, like a brisk walk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it makes me kind of wonder if you actually would have gotten to the diner before me. Like maybe you got there, then the sheriff got there, then I got there. Because I had to wake up and do my journaling and yoga and meditation and everything.
I mean, maybe we could do that, just because I'm thinking like we probably would have been there at similar times had I thought about it. But since we'd already had that scene, let's say that he either went before or after you.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you just stopped in for coffee on your long walk.
And a breakfast burrito.
Oh, breakfast burrito. I want a breakfast burrito. I think he'd also, but really he wants to take a long sort of walk through the western part of town.
Mm-hmm.
And just get a good sense of what kind of place this is, right?
Dude, you should go by the church.
The Cross of the Holy Flame Baptist Church.
Yeah, see what's up with that.
I mean, okay, it's a church. But
There could be some sort of like weird Christian offshoot cult, like running out of that church.
like Far Cry 5 just happening all over the place in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll swing by and have a look at just about everything. So
Okay. Yeah, so you walk by, the courthouse and the family video that says it opens at like 10 a.m. Head past the sheriff's office and the First Methodist Church, then up through town, see Town Hall and the Baptist Church, etc. It's early on a Friday morning, and so things are the things that are open are the things that you would expect to get an early start. The sheriff's office is about as active as it ever is. When you walk by there, you see one of the squad cars pulling out, having maybe picked something up. You head through. The Sinclair Gas and Go is closed, although the gas pumps are working. They've got modern card readers and everything. The Handy Mart across the street from that, or across the 135 from that, is open, and there's a few of the older folk who like to do their grocery shopping at 6 a.m. in there. But the next door pawn shop is closed, and that gives you a pretty good loop of almost the entire town, not including some of the far-flung eastern things, or any of the farmsteads or anything like that. But you get a sense of a quiet little town. Some of the houses are kind of junky looking, with some like a dead Chevy Nova out in the front yard. Others are perfectly manicured, American flags flying. Others are a little shaggy, somewhere in between. It seems very average for a small community. In fact, it reminds you of some of the smaller communities out in rural Pennsylvania.
Okay. All right. Well, after getting a good look around, including, just gotta check the church out, see what kind of place it seems to me. If it seems, I'm guessing it just seems like a small town, sort of singular church, right?
Yeah, there's the Methodist church, which they've got the sign out with plastic letters that they put up on the board, and talking about the next sermon. This one about anything can be forgiven, and then you walk across town to the Baptist church, and it's a little bit more hellfire. But aside from that, it seems very it seems very normal. You even get if as you walk past some houses, you see like an elderly woman working in her rose bushes, and she sees you and doesn't hesitate to give you a smile and a friendly wave, and it seems like a very friendly, welcoming town.
I mean, does seem to be that. So the curious bit is, what are they hiding?
The old lady is a drug pusher.
That's it. Figured it out.
She's the kingpin of the drug, the business in this town.
I like the liquor, guns, and smokes. Just and then Merle's Country Bunker. That's where I was the other night, right?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, I know. What is the other place that was robbed? What place is that?
That's the Sinclair Gas and Go, right on the 135.
The gas, and there it is. You know what? That's real close to where we're staying, so I think I would definitely stop in there. Are they open, or are they like closed up while making repairs still?
They are closed up, and you can see that they have torn out the entire front register area and the front desk. Looks like they are in the process of updating some stuff. The damage isn't very apparent anymore. It's been over a week since Billy Ray Spivey robbed this place. But yeah, you can see that they seem to be taking advantage of the shutdown to do some renovations in there. So there's nothing on most of the shelves. The things that nobody wanted to move, like the car batteries on lower shelves in the back, those shelves are just covered over in plastic, and nobody's working in there at the moment.
Okay. Alright. So no one to have a chat with at the moment. Alright. Cool. Alright, so in that case, I think I'm just going to head back to the place and see if anybody's back. So we should probably have a little circle round and
Family
see-
meeting.
yeah, get a little family meeting. You know, see what's what.
Yeah,
See what
so
people have found.
you head back to Merle's Shut-Eye, and what we'll say is that Kurt, you walk with the deputy, Deputy Henderson, who lets you in, and she makes you a photocopy of their whole file on the Spivey case to take with you.
Great.
Is there anything else that you would have been looking for in the sheriff's office?
Cursory glance. I mean, we would probably know about it. It's a small enough town, but any open missing persons cases.
Yeah. So you look over their board and you ask, and Deputy Henderson, she just shakes her head. She says, "Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing like vanishing. We got one, we got one 10-year-old who was reported missing, and the case is still technically open, but we know for sure that his stepfather just took him to Disney World, and his mom's pretty mad about it. That's the only missing persons we got on the books right now."
Gotcha. Well, I get pretty ticked off when people don't bring me to Disney World too. So.
Well, you know how it is with
Yeah.
separated parents.
It can get ugly, right?
That's the ugliest thing we deal with most of the time around here.
Any of the UFO people ever give you trouble?
Oh, no. I get the sense that they know that if they make themselves a nuisance in a town like this, then they won't ever get to come back. It's a small town. We have ways of making their lives difficult if they made trouble for us, even if it wasn't illegal.
Gotcha. What do they do when they're in town? What do they like to do? Do they just kind of walk around and ask questions, or do they go out into the field at night and look up, or do they try to get abducted, or they try to get video of things? I mean, they roll into
Sure.
town, and then what?
Yeah, they'll roll into town and they'll ask questions to random people, and we like any town, we got a couple of crazies who will tell them a story or two. And we've got plenty of farmers who are happy to have a camera crew on their farm, so they'll mock up a crop circle or something like that. That's my assumption anyway. That's the sort of stuff, and like you said, they'll maybe go up and sit by the reservoir and watch the sky, things like that. For the most part, they don't find much, and they head back off.
Gotcha. 2 quick questions, and I'll leave you to it. One, Billy Ray's car. Where is it right now? Is it his folks' house, or I guess he took it to go on his unfortunate crime spree. Where is his vehicle right now?
Yeah, that's right. And she pages through the file again and says, says here that he got a flat in northern Arkansas and abandoned it and stole another car. From what I hear, it's probably either in local PD impound yard somewhere, or maybe the FBI has it, but it's certainly not here.
Gotcha. No, that's helpful. And then you said, I know every town's got them, but you got a couple of crazies that the UFO folks like to talk to. Who are your local stars in that department? Could
Sure.
you give me some names and how I might?
Yeah, we got. Well, there's old Chuck Barrett. He has a farm just on the edge of town, and I even seen him cutting crop circles in his own damn wheat, and he does it on the wrong week when there aren't even UFO people in town. So he's just looking for attention. We got we got a few people who complain about their cows go moo the wrong way or something like that. It's mostly completely harmless, but if you want me to refer you to a couple of them, I can certainly do that.
No, that would be great. And have any cows mooed incorrectly recently?
I mean, if you listen to the UFO types, it's absolutely constant, and I don't get what the deal is with UFOs and cows anyway. But I know for sure that the UFO types have been going and talking to. She goes through her desk and finds another notepad, and she says, Jeff Owens has actually sent in a complaint about preferring not to be visited by these people again. Margaret Allison said that she talked with Scott Adams, who's in town right now. Jeremy Dark. We've got Robert Gum. He doesn't even have a phone out there, but you could go talk to him. And then of course we got people who in town who claim that they have like missing time and whatnot, and I don't believe it, but Bud Ulrich, and she copies down a phone number for you. And then there's Louisa May. She just lives in town here. We've taken statements from all of them. None of them could be corroborated that they were missing at all. And then Bo Laramie was the one who does have what he claims still to be an unexplained crop circle. So, like I said, you get rumors like this, and it starts to feed into people, and honestly, people around here get bored. So they join in, or maybe they drink a little too hard one night and they think they see something, things like that.
Any of these folks live close to where the Spivey boy either went missing or came unmissing?
No. Actually, most of these people are around the outside of the town.
Gotcha.
Louisa May lives in town here. She probably lives she lives fairly close to the Spiveys. By the way, his mother Angel is still at home. She's got some of her family visiting her and helping her out right now. But yeah, Spivey said that he was visiting his daughter. not daughter, his girlfriend, Jane Allen. And her family does have a farm outside town, so I suppose he might have driven by Bob Gum's farm on the way. It's possible, but doesn't seem like much of a connection to me.
This is all very helpful. I really appreciate it. I mean, when you start these investigations, you just got to, you know how it goes. You got to take in everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Crazy. And then you just start narrowing down and.
Yep, I know. 95% of what you find here isn't going to mean nothing.
But that's real helpful. Now, what I want to get from the file, and if any of this is missing, I'll ask. Although we're at the 2-week mark, so memory is going to be imperfect at best. Ideally, what I'd like to try to do is reconstruct where Billy Ray Spivey, look on him out like at this time of day at this point on the road is when his life went sideways. I mean, I'm not going to get it down to the minute. I'm not going to get it down to the quarter mile, but if I can approximate roughly where he was, what direction he was going, what time of day, and even looking at the old, newspaper, whatever, what were the weather conditions the day that he went missing. I just want to do that.
Yeah. So she gets it's in the report, and she staples a photocopied town map and highlights the route that he would have likely been following. And you can see that I actually got it backwards. It's Spivey that lives in a farm out of town, and Jane Allen lives in town. The Allen family has a house actually just across the street from the Baptist church. And in the process, you note that Jane Allen, Billy Ray Spivey's girlfriend, is also the daughter of one of the town aldermen. You actually do get the sense that she's one of those, popular in school, honor society, bright future kind of kids.
The last thing he'll say is he said no. He'll say, I'm actually, I had a chance to meet the Spivey kid briefly. He's been through a lot. I tell you, he's a strong kid. He's a tough kid. I don't know if he's a good kid or not. I want to believe that he is, but he's done some bad, awful things too. What was your sense? What was the sense of the boy before everything went sideways? And did the girlfriend's family like him, or did they think that she could and needed to do better, or are they happy with it?
Well, I mean, this is a small town, so gossip runs like the river. Plenty of people thought that was it's a high school relationship, and Jane Allen and Billy Ray Spivey weren't gonna last that long. She was probably gonna go off to college next year, and he was gonna probably stay in town and work on cars or join the army or something like that. Anyway, most people didn't think that was going to last for very long. I wouldn't say that that the Allen family were a huge fan of his. I got the sense that he was a little bit of a rebellion on her part. And he hung out with some of the kids that spend their nights out out in front of the country bunker, and they play their whatever grunge music or rap or whatever they're into these days, and he sort of was a ringleader for them. And anytime there was some little bit of graffiti showed up somewhere or something like that, we would go and ask them, and of course they're decent boys. they weren't hoodlums or anything like that. So nothing bad ever came of it, but it was enough to drive some gossip and some resentment. I got the sense that the family didn't particularly like him.
That adds up. All right. Well, I appreciate time and thank you for this report. I'll keep you in the loop, and hope that you'll do the same for me.
Thank you. We absolutely will. But don't expect anything coming from us. This place is the definition of rural police, and nothing ever happens around here.
Gotcha. No, at this point, I'm heading back to the hotel to look for my colleagues and look for my neighbor.
Yeah. So you come back in to Merle's shut-eye. One by one, you get in. How did you leave the note for your neighbor? Did you just tape it to his door?
Slid it under the door if it slides, and if not, I just tuck it into the door jamb.
Okay, yeah, you wouldn't have been able to slide it under the door, which was notable to you. You think, you watched the sunrise through the crack under the door in your room, so you figured that should be possible, but the note would go in a few inches and then stop. But anyway, you tuck it in the door jamb, and when you get back, all the pieces of tape on the van are still there. The note is still there, waving slightly in an early breeze. No sign that he has shown up or gotten your note yet.
I'll go back real quick. Sorry, and go to the front office and ask how housekeeping works at the. Is this a hotel or a motel? Probably a motel.
Motel for sure.
Do they come every day, or they come when you ask, or did this guy? Basically, where I'm going with this is, does housekeeping go into this room, or what's the housekeeping deal, or did he specify housekeeping stay out unless I say so?
Yeah, it's the latter. He seems to have specified that he would prefer to just, if he needed housekeeping, he would put the little slip on the doorknob. Otherwise, to just go ahead and leave his room alone. And they would say that they still haven't seen him. This time, it's not the night shift clerk. It's somebody in their 30s. Looks like they've been working here for a while, and really knows the place.
When we received our keys, was it like old school, where like was there like a rack of keys behind this person? They just pulled it off and said, "Here you go."
Plastic diamond-shaped keychains and everything.
Is there anything currently hanging on the 202 hook?
No, that 202 and 218 keys are both missing from their rack.
I'm just wondering if, in case there were two keys per room, this dude only took one, and there's another one sitting right there.
No, I mean, you get the sense that housekeeping would certainly have a key, but it seems like there's just like there's one key for each room, and then a master key for the housekeeping and administration.
Gotcha.
So, after checking in with the hotel, you all gather in one of your rooms. Maybe one of you takes the one super uncomfortable office chair, and the other couple of you have to sit on the beds. But yeah, you come together after breakfast.
I'll take the office chair.
Nice.
Sorry, I'll take the office chair.
slide over the heavy cuck chair from beside the window. But so it's probably 8:30, 9 when you all come back together.
Well, so I saw that we all were been out and about. What if we discovered anything? I have to say, from my part, it looks like the most of the locals don't believe in none of this UFO nonsense. So it's mostly they just find it all very humorous, but nothing seems otherwise out of the ordinary. Other than Billy, that seems to be the biggest note around town. There was a clerk named Jerome at the the bunker that mentions that there were UFO sightings in the area, but and there was a UFO watcher in town, been here about 2 weeks, but didn't get his name. That's all I was able to sort of learn so far.
Scott Adams, about 5'9", short hair, beard. That's who you're looking for.
And not the same guy that created the Dilbert comics.
Not that guy. Probably not.
That we know of.
That's the
well, the guy that created the comics is pretty out there, so I don't put UFOlogy past him.
Cooper Ham.
Well, that's the name he gave the hotel anyway. He's got 2 rooms.
I'll talk about how I ran into the sheriff and how we basically just were like, let's be friends.
Alright. So the cops already know that we're here. That's something.
Briefly above table, I find no end of entertainment in the fact that, Dr. Hotchin comes in and immediately gets, schmoozed by the sheriff. And then, our Amish buddy, makes the nice young lady behind the counter go all butterflies. It's like, my God, it's like the Delta Green Hallmark movie.
It really is. It totally
go
is.
into a small town and find love.
Yeah, he is from a small town, gone to a big town, back to a small town. And she's never left.
Here to learn the true meaning of Christmas and to leave her her big city high earning boyfriend behind.
Yeah, and never mind that it's snow on the ground, at least 1 foot. It's like mid-December when snowfall never occurs. So,
like in my mind, I just have 3 quick cut scenes, like the sheriff, flirting with Jennifer, and then like the young lady getting googly-eyed at Yoder, and then maybe some woman beginning walking up to Kurt, and he doesn't even look. He just holds up a hand. He just goes, "Don't, just don't."
Nope.
That's amazing.
Nope. Like, don't I know you? No. Mm-mm. Nope. You do not.
But I would take the map, out, point out, and basically say, did we determine, or, maybe if it's relevant, tell us. If not, whatever. But like, I want to share, like, this is where Spivey, our best intel on when Spivey had his initial event. This is where he was on the road. This is the direction he was traveling. This is the time of day. What I don't know yet is, well, give me that if that's available.
Yeah.
Or I guess, time of day.
Yeah, from the report, that is known reasonably well. This is, of course, all after the fact. But he is, it is known about when he left Jane Allen's house.
Okay.
He was
So, yeah,
having dinner with her and her parents. He drove home, and he just didn't show up for 23 hours.
Okay.
And nobody's sure where along the way he actually disappeared. Nothing has come to light to...
We don't know. That
yeah.
that we don't know. Somewhere between point A and point B.
Exactly.
So we have a stretch of road, somewhere on it he disappeared, and we have a block of time that somewhere in that is when the initial event happened.
Exactly.
Because it would be roughly whatever time he left, be kind of the start point, end point would be however long it tends to take to drive that distance. So roughly what size block of time are we talking about there?
It is...
I mean, we don't need to know
Yeah.
super precise right now if it's not
Sure.
relevant.
Yeah, I'm just going through
Was
my
it-
notes.
was
I
it
know it's
dark
here
out?
somewhere, but yeah, it was in the evening. He left the Allen household, we'll say somewhere around 9 p.m., and showed up at his own parents' house at like 8:15 p.m. the next night. And when he showed up, he was already in pain, but seemed to think that he was just driving home from, he didn't realize that there was any missing time at all.
Just looking at a map and knowing, speed limit, knowing that young men like to drive comfortably above the speed limit, like, roughly how long do I think it would take him to make that drive under normal conditions?
Yeah, his home is about a mile south of Groversville. So, driving his beat up Geo about as fast as it'll go, he could make that in a few minutes. Oh yeah, I found it, and I guessed about right. So he basically left the Allen household at 9 p.m. He drove apparently about a mile, and arrived at 8:30 p.m. 2 days later. So sorry about that. It's actually 2 days missing.
That's a lot of time missing.
It is, and he was completely unaware. Both days the sun was down by then, so he had no reason to realize, other than the fact that when he showed up at his parents', they gave him the whole, "Where the hell have you been?"
Gotcha. So what I can't figure, and I wonder if you guys have any thoughts on it right now, is this kid targeted for some reason, or was he just in the really wrong place at the really wrong time?
We're probably gonna have to go talk to his parents.
Parent,
Yeah.
one of them's dead.
That's
Like-
true.
Yeah,
I
we
think-
probably just need to learn more about him, I guess.
One thing we need to do is talk to his girlfriend.
Yeah,
He
for
left
sure.
her place. We could really line up some actual timeline, see if she knew anything. I think that's and then he might be able to let us know which way he went. We can follow along that stretch of road, see if we see anything.
I'd like to replicate
Yeah.
that at some point, same time of night, day too. So sometime in the evening, I'd like to make that drive.
Yep.
Cars, maybe a chase vehicle. I'm sorry, is Max in the room with us?
Yeah.
He probably
Yeah.
is.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, NPC
We
guy,
are-
how about you walk this stretch of road, look for anything. It might take you 3-4 days, but just walk that whole... I want you to go over every inch, collect in this evidence bag, bring it back here. All right. See you in a couple days. Here's some camping equipment.
Yeah,
There's
he's
a six pack and some Slim Jims in it for you.
He's flipping through the cable channels here, of which there's like 8. They get like CNN, Cartoon Network, and a couple of local stations, and he lands on. He's like, "Oh, this show is hilarious." He lands on it. It looks like it's built to look like a major network news show with a nice. With a nice set and a big shiny desk with a host sitting behind it, but you can also see the nails in the top of the desk. It's called Phenomenon X, and they're talking about potential sightings of Yetis up in the Sierra Nevadas, and he's like,
Hell yeah.
This show is maybe the most full of shit I've ever seen in my entire life.
He would know too.
Well, I mean, yeah. All right. Well. So anyway, what do y'all think? Think that we're on? What should we do first? Should we go on and talk to this girlfriend of his first, and then go from there?
Yeah, I'm happy to. I don't know if we want to like split up or anything, but I would love to talk to some people about Billy. Get to know him better, like on a deeper level.
Okay. So, are you splitting up, or are you all going together to make some of these visits?
I'm of the opinion that I personally would like to go and with at least Hot Jen and meet the girlfriend and see what she has to say. Doesn't mean I have to go necessarily, but
Yeah, you're welcome.
yeah, I don't have to say anything. You can go ahead and just talk, and I'll just do all the listening and note taking.
We could have one person or like 2 people go with the girlfriend, and another person go talk to, I don't know, like his doctor or something. Maybe he has maybe talk to his
ECP.
Oh,
yeah.
second, and another person has a hotel room to break into. So
Fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, girlfriend for me.
Okay.
And for me.
Yeah.
So, Blake and Eli maybe get in the FBI undercover van and head over to the Allen household, just across the street from the Baptist church. It is an immaculately put together house. Although you can see that the lawn hasn't been mowed for a bit.
We need to get SB mowing out here.
Yeah. But other than that, it is a nice looking place. Looks like the decorations are very intentional, and they all kind of go together. I'm going to say that as you walk up, knock on the door, and first meet Jane Allen's mother, Nancy, who is the one who answers the door. You see that she's an early adopter of the up and coming like Tuscan movement.
Knew it.
Yeah, she's.
I knew it. I was just gonna ask, is it like Tuscan or geese or cows?
Yeah, she apparently has a bit of flair for interior design, and the house is beautifully put together, but looks like it hasn't. Looks like the front lawn's getting a little long. like it isn't being cared for the last few weeks. But Nancy Allen comes to the door, gives you a smile. She is probably in her late 40s, sort of a light brown hair that you can tell is, she's maybe a week into a hair dye treatment, and you can just see a little gray at the roots starting out. But she greets you with a smile, and she says, "Hi there. How can I help you?" As she opens the door and just kind of looks out at the van that you parked in the driveway. There's 2 cars, lawn gnomes, nice flower beds, white painted house, Tuscan interior.
Hi. Sorry to bother you. At this time. My name is Jennifer. I am here with... Who am I with?
With
me.
Eli.
Jeb?
Jeb. Agent Jeb.
Yeah. Agent Jeb.
This is Jeb. We are both federal agents, and we have some questions that we'd like to ask you about Billy, if that's okay with you right now, if you're available.
Oh, well, sure. I was just putting together a batch of sweet tea.
That is so lovely. Could we possibly come in and have a chat?
Oh, sure, please. And she...
I'm trying to be gentle. She's probably, like, traumatized.
Yeah, she waves you in, and this actually... Remind me, Jen's... Well, I'm actually looking at it on the screen. Your human is up at 80%, right?
Yeah, hers is stupidly high, I think.
Yeah.
Let me double check, but I think so.
Mine is... yeah, I'm only at 43.
What is Agent Jeb's pharmacy or medicine?
Pharmacy is 40, medicine is 40. They're both 40.
Okay. So, Agent Jeb, you can roll for this if you want to, but you could roll pharmacy or medicine. This isn't really a super important detail, but with human as high as it is. Oh, nice. So 30 below 40. You notice as well as Blake that Nancy Allen seems high. Honestly, she is a bit spacey. Her smile is very gentle and relaxed.
Aww.
She doesn't look like she's having a bad time. She doesn't look like it's medication for a limp or anything for an injury or anything like that. As you come inside, there is an old golden retriever that just kind of gives a couple of thumps of its tail on the couch as you come in, but it's a very elderly dog and doesn't even bother to get up to come and sniff you.
Oh, buddy.
But both of you get the sense that she is in some form of mild sedation. And
I was just gonna ask, what kind of high are we talking about?
Yeah, if it's anything illegal, you're thinking along the lines of barbiturates or something like that. But she doesn't have any of the telltale signs of a real drug abuser or anything like that. Okay. She just brings you in, and maybe she's got anxiety and is on a lot of Xanax or something. But she brings you in, asks you if you want any tea, coffee, anything like that. Sits you on the couch, apologizes about the golden retriever's hair all over it, and just kind of sits in one of the chairs opposite a nice little glass-topped. This is Tuscan decor. It would be like
It would be granite countertop.
It's a coffee table. I'm thinking it looks like
sure.
farmhouse style, but she has clearly like painted on or like used a sponge to like blot on some brown paint to make it look more rustic.
That's awesome.
It's a nice look for 96. And she just kind of sits with a very a happy smile and says, "Well, how can I help you?"
First of all, how are you doing? I'm so sorry that this whole thing with Billy has happened with you. You doing okay?
Oh, well, I mean, Jane's upset, of course. I'm sure that's... Hey, Jane, where are you? She kind of yells up the stairs. She says, "Oh, that's right. She's been out with friends, just trying to, get over what happened with Billy. It's really such a shame. I'll be honest. I never thought that, high school romance, high school sweethearts, those sorts of relationships, they don't last. And Jane's of an age where she doesn't want to hear that from me. I never expected something like this from Billy, though. Maybe he'd pick up chewing tobacco or something like that. That might be the worst thing I'd expect from him. But killing his father and going on the run, I never would have expected this from him. Even if he wasn't the smartest, he was a respectful boy and hard worker.
I'm sure he was. I'm sure there is something out of the norm happening here. We're really just trying to get a handle on what kind of person he was and what things he liked to do and, some kind of details like that.
Do
you think that we could talk to...
Well, Jane hasn't been here for a couple days now. I'll let her know you're looking for her if she comes home.
Oh no, do you know where she is? Is she okay?
Oh, I'm sure she's okay. She said that she was going out with friends, and it's just kind of lonely around here. But other than that, it's fine. She's 18. She can figure her own life out at this point. And she kind of like the golden retriever heaves itself up and goes over to like plop down at Nancy's feet.
Oh.
She gives it a scratch and she says, "That's a good boy. He is getting so old." And
what's his name?
Well, this is Buckley.
Buckley?
He's 17. That's real unusual for a big dog like him to get that old. And, well, he's normally very energetic, but, well, since my husband's been working so much, he hardly ever leaves the courthouse, and Jane is she's growing up and she's coming and going, so for the most part, it's me and Buckley around here all the time.
Oh, what does your husband do?
Oh, well, he works with the town council. He's an alderman. And he's ever so busy. I haven't seen him in several days. They just keep him working so hard down there.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah. But that's the price of being with someone who really cares about their community and is willing to put in the hours.
Yep, that's true. I've Heard that story a lot. Do you have a phone number or a pager number? Or pager's still a thing.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Where we could possibly get a hold of her?
I wouldn't expect to know exactly where she is. She usually, she'll go with her friends up to the reservoir or places like that. Who knows?
Do you know the names of any of her friends?
Sure. There's Jade Brooks and Reagan Santiago. Those are the two that she hangs out with the most. Reagan's headed off to start college early, so she won't be in town anymore. Jade is Jade's causing all sorts of drama, talking about going back and forth on marrying her boyfriend, or just how teenage girls are. They just
I do.
drama. So she's probably involved in some of that. But whether they're at the Brooks place or somewhere else, I honestly don't know. Jane's a very, very good girl, and I've always done my best to trust her and let her have her own life.
Well, I really appreciate you talking with us. I think that's all the questions I have. Agent Jeb, do you have anything you want to talk about before we get out of here?
So, as I've been listening to this, I want to just sort of look around the house. What is the state of this house?
You should do a oh, can I use your bathroom? Or something. Just go poke around.
Yeah. As you just get a general sense looking around, you get a sense of a household where somebody takes great pride in keeping things neat and tidy and adjusted and decorated just so. And on top of that, there's a layer of dust and some dishes in the sink, and a lot of dog hair on the floor. It's a weird juxtaposition that she seems to put a lot of care into things, but it looks like nobody has done any cleaning for a couple of weeks.
What's the state of her appearance?
It's similar. She has nice clothes, but they're a little rumpled. Like maybe she's wearing them for the second day. A little gray is showing at her roots. And she does just seem a little spacey. Like she isn't really aware of what her home is looking like.
And does she exude any scent that would put me, like that she's unwashed, untidy?
No, nothing like that.
Okay, she doesn't smell of alcohol or anything like that.
No smell of alcohol or any kind of drugs. There's no paraphernalia or anything like that around. You just get a sense of, if she were acting more aggrieved or anything like that, you might get the sense that she's just sad and she hasn't done any chores around the house for a while. But she seems very relaxed and upbeat and unconcerned. It is a strange combo to you.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I know you mentioned that your husband works a lot. When's the last time you've seen him?
Oh, well, I'm not sure I could tell you off the top of my head. I could... Well, let's see. He dropped in for dinner last night, but that was just real quick. I made up a plate for him, and he headed right back to work. Before that, it was a couple days before, and that's about the last time I saw Jane as well. Oh no, it's the 6th, isn't it? So that'll be 4 days ago.
That you've seen Jane, or your... but he was here last night.
Yeah, he just dropped by for a couple of minutes, a peck on the cheek, and that's it. Last night, and was it last night or the night before? And she seems to get confused really easily and keeps flip-flopping back and forth.
Can I get you a drink of water or something out of your fridge?
Oh, you are too nice. I mean, I've got my tea here. It's no problem. You don't need to do that.
Oh, it's no trouble. And has she drank out of her glass at all?
She has, yeah.
I'll just offer my hand. Why don't you just give that to me? I'll refill it for you for being so kind to us tonight.
Oh, what a polite young man. There's a pitcher in the refrigerator.
Thank you. I'm going to use as an excuse to check. What's the state of this fridge, and how expired is everything?
Milk's spoiled.
The milk's spoiled.
For anyone who doesn't get the reference, go and watch the Glass Cannon Network Delta Green stream.
I will not stop checking the fridge. Just, yep. We're all clear.
Yep, if the milk is spoiled, something is wrong. And
yep.
I'm not joking, the milk is spoiled. It's gone just a little bit sour. There is, I guess this is the days before bagged salads, but there's like a head of lettuce in there, or a half head of lettuce that she was maybe having for a salad, and it's gone a little black around the stem. There are like some mushrooms that are getting a little gross. All of the fresh ingredients are going a little bit.
Yep.
Again, it just seems like somebody is just letting things slip around here.
Yeah, she's not. No one's making any sort of. Okay. I'll refill it from the. Get in the sweets just like I asked and offer to. I just have one more sort of a request. Does Jane still have a bedroom in your house?
Oh, of course. Yeah, let me show you on up here. I can't believe that didn't occur to me. And she gets up, brings her tea along. The dog kind of trundles along to the base of the stairs and doesn't bother going up.
I'm gonna, as I pass, I'm gonna lean down to Jen and be, why don't you go see what's in her medicine cabinet? And I'll follow her up to Jane's room. Something's off down here.
So, you head into Jane's room. There is a lot of... It's like a white and pink wallpaper. She's got all the typical posters up. Let's see, 96. There's probably some NSYNC going on. Some boy band stuff that is, she's maybe outgrown but hasn't, doesn't have the heart to take it off yet. She seems to have a Polaroid camera. There are Polaroid shots with friends at the high school at various ages, kind of tucked into the frame of her mirror. It is a tidy room. As you come in with Nancy Allen, she says, "You feel free to look around. I mean, she hasn't slept here in a couple of days, but as you can see, she's very neat, young woman, very smart. She's talking about colleges and sending in applications these days. And sure enough, you see on her desk there is a pile of college applications partially filled out.
Where is she looking to go to?
Well, she's got it in her head that she wants to go for an art degree, and her father and I say that she might want to do something a little bit more practical, but well, she's her own person, and well, she's always wanted to paint, so she's talking about some big places. She's applied to NYU and some other places, but she's mostly looking at state colleges and universities like that, and would really love her to stay closer to home so we can see her.
Is there other paintings around the room?
Yeah, there are a few, honestly, like, cringe-inducing paintings. She's got a vase that looks like it would fall over if it actually existed in gravity. There's a couple of portraits where the eye spacing is very creepy and stuff like that. But yeah, amateurish art is about. There's an easel in the corner. Doesn't look particularly well used.
Mm-hmm. Let me see here. Does she have a phone in her room?
She does. It's a landline.
Right. Does it have? Are there any? Does it have? Actually, I can ask. Does she have her own phone number up here, or is it all just one phone number throughout the house?
Well, she asked for it a couple of years ago after she got the idea in her head after watching TV that maybe she should have her own phone line. But well, simple fact is, small town like this, we're not even sure we could get that for her, even if we thought it was appropriate. So, nope, that's the same house line.
Does she have a answering machine attached to this phone? I'm asking above the table.
Not in this room, but there is. You did notice one downstairs in the kitchen.
Did I notice if it had messages on it?
Yeah, when you stopped in, you would have seen that there were a couple of messages unlistened to, new messages.
Okay. All right. Trying to think if there's anything else that I would want to look at in here that is of note. Because I'm not an investigator, but I'm trying to think like one. I'm guessing the bed's made.
It is, yes.
Does she have a desk that seems like, or anything that she looks like she would use fairly regularly?
Yeah.
Maybe it's
combo,
like a desk mirror.
Yeah, like it's basically a combo vanity and desk. So there's an office chair. There's a neat stack of homework, a neat stack of college applications, a little tray with all of her makeup and stuff on it to one side. Yeah, so kind of a vanity that does it all.
Just gonna brush a finger across the top of that desk and see if it's dusty.
It is.
Alright. Yeah, she hadn't been here in a long time. Alright. Or hasn't used this in a long time. Alright, well, I appreciate you letting me look around. I know this is her private sanctum up here, so I don't want to disturb nothing. Yeah, you have a bathroom I can use before we get out of your hair?
Oh, sure. Just at the end of the hallway here. And we got another one if you need.
Alright, thank
And would Dr. Harrington have gone snooping in a medicine cabinet?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah, so
Would be
you maybe
fine.
like stopped in to there's basically a master bathroom and an upstairs hall bath. And you popped into the master bathroom that's you don't even have to go through the master bedroom to get to it. It's just kind of like right there at the entrance. And you wash your hands and everything to make it seem fairly plausible. Pull open the medicine cabinet behind the mirror, and everything looks very, very above board. There's some Advil, some Benadryl. There's like mouthwash, dental floss, deodorant, some Visine, maybe some vitamin C or a Centrum bottle, Q-tips, an empty case for reading glasses, some old, a little cup with some older tampons, and nothing. There are a couple of prescription bottles. One is an empty bottle of some kind of a course of antibiotics that looks like it expired a couple years ago. And another is an antibiotic cream or ointment. But nothing that you see would explain her apparent mental state.
Okay.
She's even got a little like plastic Tupperware full of like Mary Kay samples.
Mary Kay, not
Avon?
Avon? That's crazy. How many different bottles of shampoo and conditioner does she have in the shower?
She has not very many. She's got basically the bottle that she's using that's almost out, and the bottle that she hasn't opened yet. One shampoo, one conditioner, and you do see, in the trash is a hair color kit. With one of the little bottles that was left in the shower's rack, but it's kind of crusted over. It looks like it's been there a while.
Seems pretty normal. Okay. I think that's it.
Okay. So, and Eli tries the bathroom as well. This one seems to be the one that Jane Allen would have been using, and there's a similar assortment of samples of makeups and perfumes and things like that. Some of the older stuff, you notice there's like a black lipstick. It looks like Jane went through maybe like a goth phase a year or two ago, but it doesn't look like that's been used for a while. More fresh, commonly used feminine hygiene stuff. But again, everything is neat and nothing looks like anything that could be, a mind-altering substance or an abusable drug at all. There isn't even really cough syrup.
All right.
Okay.
Finding no probable cause of any kind to continue, I'm going to head back down and thank her for her time. And basically I've got no further questions at this moment. So
Okay.
Once we reconvene outside, probably just confer with Jen what we were gonna, what we found, which is a big fat nothing other than this lady has been in a stupor for days, doesn't know what day it is, hasn't done nothing, and I'm not even sure she's eating, because everything in that kitchen's spoiled.
Yeah, she seems unwell.
I feel, I don't know, I kind of want to, I think we gotta find her daughter, like, right now.
I agree.
We also need to speak to her husband. Something seems real off there.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I bet we could go down to the courthouse and find him, and maybe somebody who would know the address of Jane's friends.
Yeah, because honestly, unless this man's having, like, several affairs, how are you staying away from home at a courthouse for several days? You have a cot in there?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I said courthouse, I meant town hall.
Town
Oh,
But
sure.
anyway.
Okay. City building.
Same thing, yeah. City government building for a tiny little town.
Yeah. Alright.
Okay, so then remind me where did Kurt go?
Kurt hung back. But
That's
Kurt's
right.
got a plan.
Okay.
Kurt is going to try one last time to knock on his neighbor's door loudly for any sign of anybody in there.
Yeah, this time you're checking, around 10 a.m. or so. Most people should be awake by then. And you knock loudly, and there's still no response whatsoever. There's no no rustle of movement, no peeking through a curtain or anything like that.
Just kind of makes a face, figures, walks back into his room, and puts on his tactical vest, loads a full tube into the Remington 870 shotgun, racks a load, puts one more shell into the tube, so he's ready to rock and roll. What kind of communication equipment do we have? I mean, there's no cell phones. There sure should any cell towers out there, but do we have anything other than whatever landlines are in our vicinity? I mean, amongst ourselves or communicating. What kind of what communication equipment, if any, did we roll into town with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
would we have like walkie-talkies or something?
Oh, absolutely. You've got a whole reconnaissance van, essentially. So you've got a toy box, you've got bugs, you've got laser mics, you've got parabolic antennas, all the kind of stuff that
Fancy.
yeah, fancy stuff, and Max has just been getting it all set up, cataloged, reading all the manuals and stuff like that.
So, cool. So, a rack, and after taking that shotgun, I'm just going to put it next to my door on the inside. He's very calm and methodical about that. Closed the door, locks it, finds Max, and says, Max, I'm going to give you a call. Except, I'm going to put on a little show, and I need you to not be you. I want you to think about the biggest, angriest stick all the way up his asshole you've ever worked for, make him 10 times worse, and I want you in my ear hole when I call you. I'm gonna ask you about some phone numbers. You're gonna tell me that there's a hit, and then you're gonna give me an earful. Have fun with it, man.
He just kind of raises an eyebrow. He says this sounds awesome.
And then I'm going to take my my field radio, my Motorola, walkie-talkie, field radio, whatever it is that, we're sporting in 1996, and I'm going into the front office. Is it a young woman working there, right?
Now it's a woman in her like mid-late 30s, pretty obese. She seems to be like the day shift.
Okay. I'm going to go in very business-like. Hi. Ma'am, I don't believe we've met. I'm with the group that checked in last night. And I'm just curious to see what reaction I get, like, or F you guys, or ooh, the po-po. What kind of reaction when I just say I'm with the group that came in last night.
She gives you a big smile and she says, "Oh, welcome. I'm June. Happy to see you. Did you need something in your rooms?"
No, I got a question, and I'm not even being shy, but I'm wearing that cheesy standard issue. Now my back is I don't have my back to her yet. I'm walking in, I'm facing her, but I'm wearing that windbreaker that says FBI, the navy blue windbreaker that says FBI on the back.
Yeah.
Definitely wearing that.
Excellent.
I'm walking in, but the FBI part I haven't turned, and I was like, maybe something, maybe nothing. I was wondering, gotten some additional information and some phone records from headquarters. Just want to cross-reference, Got to check to see, if there's a hit on something, maybe nothing.
Oh, sure.
I did a call. What is the telephone number for my room? Could you let me know what that is? I just want to...
Yeah, she looks
so I've
over.
walked in there, just so you know, I've walked in, I got a manila folder, I got a clipboard, I have papers in it. It's all bullshit. It's all lies. It's there for show.
Excellent. Yeah, and you're
you don't
asking
have to give me
her
the actual
for,
number.
Yeah,
Like, what
no
is...
problem.
I'm just saying,
Yeah, she
what's
gives
my
you like
number?
555 9572.
Okay, so I made a test call last night. I'm looking at my paperwork, like, yeah, that's on the log. I see, okay. Would you mind letting me know the phone number for rooms 202 and 218? And I get those numbers. And after she gives me those numbers, well, I'll let her give me the numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she
then,
very happily does write those down for you as well.
So I'm gonna make a show. I'm gonna like pretend like I'm not, like I have a poker face and fake not having a poker. I'm gonna look at, and then I'm gonna deliberately change my expression. I'm like, oh boy, and I just say, oh boy. I don't say anything else, and I go for my radio, and I call Max. And I just say, Chief, we got to hit on the numbers.
And he just lets loose with, "You got to be fucking kidding me!"
Yeah,
like,
so I muffle a little bit, but I'm getting an ear hole, and it's like, and I make a show like I'm just getting chewed out, and I'm assuming some of this is coming through,
Yeah, and she's not picking up the words, but she hears the tone of voice and the overload of the speaker, and she is just wide-eyed, like this is the most interesting thing that's ever happened to this woman.
And I'm gonna say, Chief, sir, no, I know we've got the breaching tool in the van. I don't think we need to bust the door down. I think they'll let us in. I mean, we got it. The warrant's on the way.
And she just says, of course.
It's not going to be.
And she just kind of mouths. Doesn't,
I get it.
Doesn't make any sound, but
I don't want to get
mouths.
This. I'll just say, I don't want to get this nice lady in trouble. We don't have to bust this door. I'm sure she'll just give me the key. Just give me a second.
Yeah, and she hustles up from her seat, and pulls out a jangly key ring on a long kind of magenta lanyard.
I'll just like hold it in I'm holding, and I'm hoping he's just, you know, I'm like covering, you know, and I'm still just, you can hear, God damn it, you know, blah, 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 you know, coming through. I'm like, is there like a master maintenance key or housekeeping key, a key that just opens these doors? I just borrow that. I promise to give it back to you. I just, you know.
Yeah.
If you're unsafe, you just stay here. Can I get that from you real quick?
Go ahead and roll a persuade for me.
Okay.
Oh. 22 under 80. That is a critical success. June Cook, the day shift manager of Merle's Shut-Eye, is an avid true crime reader.
Oh, yeah.
She has dreamed her entire life of having a chance to work with, even just to work with the sheriffs in town would make her day. The fact that there's FBI here and she knows what that, you know, she's supposed to hold out for a warrant and stuff like that, but she is so excited to do this. She just like gets up from her seat and she says, "Now I can't give you any master keys, but I will come up there with you. If you need to get into any of these rooms, you just let me know." And she will, if you're gonna lead her to Adam's room right away, she is excited to come along.
Sure, why not? But we're gonna get there, and as we're walking up, it's like, ma'am, appreciate the help. Here's what I need. I need you to unlock that door, and I need you to go halfway across the parking lot. You can keep eyes on me, you can keep eyes on that door. I already spoke with Deputy Henderson this morning. You can call her at the station, she's on a shift. If anything, you know, go sideways, but for your own protection, after you unlock that door, I want you to stand way back and let me enter on my own, please.
And still eyes wide, she just nods and she says, "Roger."
Oh, she's so excited.
She might get her head ripped off or her insides turned inside out, you know, but we'll see. Or it'll be a whole big nothing burger. And as we walk up next, he's gonna walk to the door. I walk to the door, I open it, and I'm gonna look back at her. It's like, don't be alarmed. This is just a precaution. And that's when I get my Remington A70 shotgun. And I'm not fucking around.
And she just, again, eyes wide, gives you a nod, and waits for you to lead the way, but hands over the key ring.
You know what? For funds and grit to really just, you know, I'll hand her a little radio that I called Max on. I'll just say, like, please don't use this. If something happens to me, I want you to hit this button. Just say agent down, alright? Help's gonna arrive.
Oh my god, of course.
Okay, and we're gonna, after she unlocks the door, at that point I just fingers to my lips and I just point to somewhere, you know, I'll designate, I'll whisper, like, you know, by the blue Honda over there, somewhere far enough away, you know, close enough that she can see me go in, but far enough away that if there's anything to be seen, she can't really make it out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, so with your shotgun ready, you turn the key in the lock, and the master key, of course, works perfectly. Your note that you had stuck in the door jamb falls to your feet as you kind of take the strain off of the door's rubber ceiling, and then you try to push it open, and it resists you. Not like it's barred or anything like that, but just like there's something in front of the door, like somebody put a suitcase there or something like that. So you kind of have to put your shoulder into it. But yeah, so with a moment you are able to
I didn't come here to check the milk, man.
Yep. Yep,
I'm leaning into it.
You lean in, you push, the door resists as it opens, but then you realize it's actually just a towel that has gotten caught between the door and the floor. It looks like it was wadded up in front of the door itself, and it just resists a little bit. But you get that open, you pull it out from under the door, and you look around at this room. It is a very, once again, standard motel room, paisley comforter. The bed is not made. It is kind of a mess in here. And aside from you pushing the door open and letting the light in, there are no lights on. The TV is on, and somebody has turned the brightness all the way down on it, so you can barely see the screen. It's muted, and it's just showing the Weather Channel. There is a laptop on the small desk. Doesn't seem to be, it's shut, but it seems that whoever was staying in here, Adams or whoever else, took the phone cable out of the hotel's phone and plugged it into the laptop. The more important thing that you notice as you push the door open is the smell of blood. It is unmistakable. It is stomach-turning. You see no sign on your first entry. You see no sign of violence or a struggle or anything broken or anything like that. But there is this horrible smell. And as you make your way slowly and carefully into the room, you finally turn the corner to the bathroom, and in the bathtub there is what you guess to be Scott Adams. He is laying in the bathtub in apparently his own blood. His mouth is open as if he was screaming or in pain. Bloody water has sloshed over the sides and is staining the floor. And the smell is horrific. And that is where we will pick up next time.
Well, at least one of us made a discovery.
Right.
I feel like there is something there. Like when we were in the house, that we just weren't there. Like we're 98% of the way to figuring something out, and I don't know.
It's an investigation.
Yeah. Yep.
If you're lucky, it'll all make sense someday. But
I mean, can you really ever have a Delta Green investigation actually make sense of anything?
no,
Right.
it's not supposed to. If you've got the whole picture, then you're probably as insane as the victims.
Saturday. I'm excited.
Absolutely.
I knew it. I knew that guy was dead. I could feel
What's
it in
that?
my bones. I knew that guy was dead.
Which guy were we talking about? There was
Scott Adams,
Scott.
the UFO guy.
Oh yeah. Damn it. I had a feeling since he hadn't been seen in a while. So I guess we have to figure out what he was looking at last.
Mm-hmm.
Blah 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 blah. Well,
That, and we got a whole nother room to sweep too,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, he had two of
and a
them.
van.
And a van, yep.
Well,
And of course
Excitement.
his body. It's not even apparent immediately what happened to him. So
Yeah, no, we got a.
it's gonna be a busy session next time, I'll say that.
yeah, we were sort of finding our bearings this time. We were like, what are we doing? We're looking
Yeah,
for.
what's the deal with this town anyway?
Why are we here?
Uh-huh.
I remember after the last time, I felt like I had like, oh yeah, we got all this stuff to do, and I'm like, things again that we had to do. But now
Yeah,
I didn't even
that's-
have that.
That's what 3 or 4 weeks off will do to you.
I know. I was just like, what was I? Who am I? I had to literally remember what my character's freaking name was for a hot minute. Not like his agent name. I mean, I'm like, what was it? Was it J? Was it Jeb? Yeah, Jebediah. That's right. I would have thought of the dumbest name I could think of. I'm not that Jebediah is a dumb name. It's a good name. It's a really good name for all the Jebediahs listening.
I hope there are some Jebediahs listening.
I hope so too. And I mean, like, I did not mean to call you out, whoever that was.
I'm sorry that Charlie missed this session for a variety of reasons, including that I think he would have been all in on chewing my ass out.
Oh yeah, he would have
And
loved that.
I'm sad to have missed what colorful language he would have, I'll have your
Absolutely.
What he would have
badge.
come up with.
God damn it!
Yeah, we'll try and get him in here for one of these. But yeah, we will see. Agent Java will kind of just be sometimes NPC. But yeah, so before we end the stream, just wanted to thank all of you players. It's been too long. I missed this.
Yeah, me
And
too.
those of you who showed up to watch, thanks for showing up live. Really means a lot to us. And we will try to be back here next week.
For
Okay.
more insanity, death, and I don't know, questionnaires.
It's gonna be great.
High old women.
High old women. That's
High old women. That's what we do.
new session title. All right.
Yep.
Next week.